This is Mellow, and today we'll be going over patch 14.11 and we'll make our own rundown. Mort, of course, did his own rundown, but I'm gonna give you some insights from Master Player POV. So maybe you can gain some LP, some free LP this patch. We'll see what I think is viable and not, and what the changes are. I took a look over the patch, and I kind of made an idea over it. So let's just jump right into it. Regarding trades, two small changes. I see that 8 Ghostly got buffed from 32 to 36%. In my opinion, Ghostly has been quite in a weird place. Usually tend to play like 4 with the Zyra comp. 6 in exceptional situations. The thing is, like, even with 2 emblems, I don't see why would you go 8th Ghostly, because at that point you're just simply lacking too much frontline. You're playing like useless champions like I don't know, Caitlyn. Yeah, I mean, Aatrox is okay now, but if you don't restart him, he's just useless. So I don't see the point of this change. Like 8 Ghostly should be like overpowered because you need two emblems for it, but I guess this is fine. 36 is an okay increase. We'll see. I really got to play it Ghostly and it felt really bad. So yeah. Trick shot, lucky ricochet damage. They actually reverted the change from last patch when Kai'Sa was, in my point of view, the only playable thing. We'll see how this affects the Kai'Sa comp, because now, well, Sylas also got nerfed, and Sylas was a big like a power staple in that comp. It was just a solid champion. You would always itemize him after Galio and Kai'Sa and Xayah, of course. So yeah, I think this will bring back the ricochet combat, maybe at the point of like the now viable comps, which are Lilia and I don't know, Zyra reroll, Kog'Maw reroll. Yeah. Regarding 1 and 2 costs, I see that Darius got nerfed at 1 and 2 stars. The spell damage. Remember, Darius also has a passive, I believe it is, or part of the active that gives him bonus attack damage on the next 5 attacks, which hasn't gotten nerfed. But it should be a really big hit because Darius wasn't in that great of a spot after the previous nerfs. Now I think they're trying to like I don't know, cut the power from early duelist and also early Umbral, because the early Umbral is like a lot of shield, but they already went on that with the changes. So yeah, Garen, the Storyweaver augment was just the story champion, I believe it's called, the Garen champion augment. It was so broken. If you didn't get to try it, it was the most outrageous thing in this game. You would literally win streak with like a 2-star Garen for most of the game. Even if you get like a 3-star, it's like a guaranteed first or second place every single game. I'm glad that they reverted the last patch buff, because it was really outrageous. Now it should be okay. It should still be playable, but not at the level it was this patch. They actually buffed Yasuo, and it's a really weird buff because Yasuo, I believe, wasn't really working as intended with the shielding and all the resistances he was getting. And now it's a little bit buffed at 2-star and 3-star, and that should pretty much make him viable to 3-star, I believe. Like, it was this weird comp with Ari and Yasuo reroll at the beginning of the set, which never really came back, and this might actually bring it back. You just reroll Ahri and the Yasuo and play Fated. So yeah, we'll see. I will have to test that. It was really a really strong comp at the beginning of the set, but now not that much. We'll see about this. Gnar went from 40 to 45 stacks. I don't think this is the issue with Gnar. Like, Gnar was a really popular reroll comp at some point, but the changes in the Titans really hurt him because he was benefiting a lot from the AP, from the extra AP he was getting. Now with 5, that means it's 5.2.5, that's 12.5, I believe. More AD at max stacks, but then again, some of the fights you are not really getting to max stacks, or even if you're getting to max stacks, it's already too late into the fight. It's hard to make a difference at that point. I don't think this is the issue with Gnar. The issue with Gnar is like he was too good with an item that got giga nerfed. 4 and 5 costs. Well, Nautilus was like a really good champion this patch. I'm sad to see that they're nerfing it, because what it really was is that I don't think there is a viable 4-cost tank at this point in the game. Galio is fine, but Ornn got really hurt. He's also now more of an utility champion. Just put him in to give items to your other champions. And what else is it there? This guy, Galio, I don't know, I can remember all the full costs, but yeah, hurting one of them is like, oh yeah, and Annie. Annie is still okay, but they also nerfed her a lot because she was really overpowered, so yeah. It should bring him back in place with the other 4 costs, but compared to other stun champions from other sets, like, I don't know if you guys ever got to play, I don't know what set it was, 8 or 9, when Jarvan was a thing. It was just stunning half of the board with like one cast, and this guy is sometimes just casting weirdly, and yeah, champion is like not really good. But we'll see though. It was probably mostly overpowered in like mythic comps with Lilia and stuff. So yeah. I actually seen the Syndra changes. I understood them when Mort explained them. It's a buff. What I understood from him is that for first and second cast, it's actually nerfed on one star. But then from the third cast onwards, it should be slightly better. And then at the 2 cost, it's just a buff. Like at the 2 star, I'm sorry. At the 2 star is just a buff. From first cast, it's like, I don't know, 2 or 3%. That's what Mort said. More damage. I don't think this is Syndra's issue. Syndra's issue is that she's a scaling mage into a meta that's predominantly bursty. Like things like Ashe, which okay, she's scaling, but she's also like bursty. Kaisa, which then again pretty much bursty. The second cast should pretty much clear the board. There is Lilia, which okay, Lilia is not really a burst champion, but she's also not really. She also doesn't really care about bursting your front line. She's more of like sniping your back line. And yeah, we'll see about this. Maybe Fated Syndra will be really good, because Fated Syndra was in a really good spot already. But we'll see. Lissandra. I don't think they should buff Lissandra. Like I always said, like this champion was giga broken because of the ability, and it was not because of her ability to throw the champions into the backline. It was just the stun that's outrageous, because your champion doesn't get to cast. It's like 2.5, 3 second stun, which, yeah, that's not really good. Items. Curse Blade, it's finally in the game, and I think it's trash. You should never pick this. There are much better artifacts. So yeah. Diamond Hands got nerfed because it's really overpowered. I don't think this is the issue with Diamond Hands. The issue with Diamond Hands is that it just gives you outright 1 gold each turn, and if you get it at like 2-1, it's just produces so much econ over the game. And yeah, not much to say. It's deserved, but I don't think it will make it less playable. Moonstone Renewer, by far the best support augment in the game. I'm glad they're nerfing it. The shield went from 100 plus 50 per stage to 60 plus. Oh, it's 60 plus 50 per stage. Wow, they actually nerfed it by a lot, like 40 here, and the back shield went from 400 to 360. Yeah, that's a deserved buff. I'll have to test it to see how good it is still, but it might be actually in line with the other support items now. Needlessly big gem. It is by far and was by far, in my opinion, the worst support item in the game. Well, there is also Spite, I guess. Spite was also like really bad. But this is a deserved. I don't think this will make enough, but we'll see. The issue with the gem is like if you get it on a sentinel, it will mostly die, and if you put it on a backline, it might get sniped, and you just lose the value of the whole item. When, I don't know, Spite, you cannot really lose the value unless it dies in like a corner, and all the others are just giving stats at the start of, or at the random what's it called, at random points into the fight, which is always fun. Augments. Cybernetic Bulk enabling no longer can appear on 2-1. This is good because I was sometimes getting baited by Cyber Bulk. You shouldn't take it at 2-1. Like, you shouldn't take these augments at 2-1. They're good at like 4-2. Yeah. Gold augments. Build different too. Yeah, it needed a buff. Like, from the recent nerfs on the build different, and I believe build, is it still build different 3 in the game? I'm not sure, but 2, I don't think it is. But anyway, build different deserve the buff. After the recent nerfs, it was just unplayable. You'd just take it and you'd go 8th. It doesn't give enough stats to make it viable. Now we'll see in which state it is, because the forecast all got hit in recent patches, so I don't think it's that good anymore. But then again, it deserves to be tested. Grim Harvest, Grim Harvest for Reapers, grants Kha'Zix and the Kindred, and now granting Kha'Zix and the Yone. Okay, so 1 extra gold and you actually get the Yone. Although I don't think this can push you into like playing Yone reroll with it, because Yone is like unplayable at the moment. The Titans nerfs were just too much. And the Omnivamp goes from 4% to 5%. That will actually just help the guy, the Kane. He actually needs a lot of Omnivamp to stay alive now because they over nerfed it, in my opinion. But we'll see about that. Lucky Pause. I'm surprised they didn't nerf Kobuko, because I don't think this is the issue. I don't think the bonus damage is the issue with this augment. It's also like really overpowered, like a 3 point something average mostly. As long as you get like a Dragon Claw. But anyway, I don't think the bonus damage is the issue, because at some point it just gets to one-shot anything with the scaling of the damage on the HP of Kobuko. But yeah, it is what it is. I still think it will be pickable. I don't think you'll get it every game, every time you get it, but yeah. Too healthy, HP per 2 cost from 99 to 90. I would want to say this is a deserved buff, but I don't really play too healthy. Like, usually I would get it when I see the that weird exalted, what's it called? When it's only 2 costs exalted, it's like 6 of them. That's the only viable way you get it. You get this augment, but that's really rare. It should be, I mean, it is viable right now in Zyra comps, in the Zyra reroll comp, but I don't think it deserves a nerf. It was fine, and also 9 HP is 10%. I 9%. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. It is a nerf, but how often do you play it, really? Venerable Piggy Bank. Oh man, they finally nerfed this. I'm so glad. This is just an insta win. Like, if you get it at 2-1, you basically get like, you used to get like 25 bonus gold if you fully low streak on the second stage. I mean, from 2-1 to 7. And that was just insane, because in fact you weren't only getting 25 gold, you were also getting the interest from getting 5 gold on 2-1 and 2-2 and 2-3 and yeah, and so on. So it was just snowballing out of control. I was sometimes taking this augment even as a second augment, which, by the way, I think should be recommended now. You shouldn't pick it as a second augment. It's quite bad now. I mean, it's still not a bad augment, don't get me wrong. Getting 4 gold per turn for a full low streak, if you get exalted, of course, is not that bad. It's actually good, but it's not the overpowered state it was. We'll see, though. I used to like this a lot. I used to like just take it even if I don't have the exalted champions, even if I get it at like the 2-5 or after the carousel, or like even after Krugs, it was viable sometimes, because it's just so much gold, and it's not an useless augment because you also get the XP from exalted. So it's like, imagine this but +1 gold, because it's 1 XP each turn. So yeah. Prismatic augments. Dragonlord Clown. I'm a clown. Grants a Janna, to granting a Janna and a Diana. Oh wow. It's actually now matching the gold augment for Dragonlord. I believe it's Dragonlord Crest. And now it just instantly gives you 3 Dragonlord. That's really good. Like, the issue with the crown, usually the issue with the crown is that you're not getting access to full value of the augment until later stages, until you just, I don't know, find 5 Dragonlord or like 5 Sage. This is giving you like more power early game is fine, although I think will now be overpowered. Like, getting 3 Dragonlord that early is just insane. Assuming you'd get it on 2-1, even on 3-2, it might be viable, but we'll see. Final Ascension no longer appears on 2-1. This is a good change, because so many people were getting baited into picking this augment, which is actually insane at 4-2, but you shouldn't pick it anywhere else. At 3-2, it was viable in some situations, but then again, you'd probably want some other form of power for the mid game. So yeah, this is okay. Removing this from 2-1 won't hurt no one. Porcelain Crown went from granting a Lux to granting an Amumu. I mean, this is fine. Amumu is like the most valuable unit you can get early game for Porcelain, and the most valuable unit you can usually get anyway, because he's like really broken in my opinion. But yeah, this is a good change. What do we got? Small 1 and 2 cost changes. Kha'Zix went on the 3-star from 340 to 350 spell AD. I saw some variants of Kha'Zix reroll, which is actually really interesting, because this champion should actually be good. Like, considering the fact that he has Reaper and Heavenly, 2 of, I don't know, the very best what they're called, traits, in my opinion, in the game, because one of them just gives you combo traits. I actually meant they actually give you like Reaper gives you a lot of crit chance, and Kha'Zix for Heavenly gives crit chance. So I think this might actually make it viable. It was close to being viable this patch and the patch before, but it's a bit underwhelming, the fact that he doesn't really one shot a three star. We'll see though. This is an interesting change. I wanna test the Kha'Zix reroll. Severe. I don't think nobody cares about 3-star Severe. Like 3-star Severe is just a waste of money. Usually just hold 2-star Severe for carrying the items into the late game. It doesn't matter. Like even if you play it with like 4 trick shots, it won't do enough. I don't think this. The attack speed has been lowered a lot. The red kale has been giga nerfed. So no, just don't reroll this thing. Aatrox buffed again. Aatrox was like in an okay spot this patch after the buffs, but seeing this, it means that he's still underperforming, which surprises me a bit. I want to see it with the new changes. The changes aren't insane. Like a 2-star, you'd probably feel it a bit. 3-star, you'll probably feel it a lot. But how often do you 3-star it? Like you're usually 3-starring this only if you get it like really easily, and even then you're not really happy with it because it's eating a lot of gold. So yeah, Senna, they want to bring reroll Senna back. I don't know why. The Zyra variance is just better in my opinion. Although with the sniper buff, with the 2, 4, and 6 sniper buff, this might actually bring Senna back a bit. It might be viable back. It might be viable again, but these are small changes. Actually, these are really small changes. I don't know, 5% AD on 3-star and 5% ability AD buff, which then again you don't usually use it. It doesn't really matter on the ghostly champions you're playing it with. 3 and 4 cost, the small changes. 3-star Diana and 3-star Yone got buffed. 3-star Diana is actually okay. I'm glad to see that they increased the ability damage reduction. 5% though, it might be enough. She's actually good, like with Seeker's arm guard and with like other tank items. It will be actually interesting to see how it performs in like reroll comps that involve Sage or like Dragon Lord that need a frontline. 3-star Diana is actually a viable frontline for the late game, and now even more. Yone, I don't think Yone was like playable for the past 4 or 5 patches. He just got gutted by the Titans nerfs, and he also got nerfed, and they didn't really bring him back. They didn't really care about him. He's also really clunky now. I feel like, I don't know what it is. It just doesn't fit in my mind as a carry. It usually sometimes works with a loon, but even then, just because the loon is broken, he's working. They gave Kane 50 HP back, which is okay, although he's actually really suffering from the MR and armor nerfs he got a few patches ago. I believe it was like 2 patches ago. And since then, I didn't feel like the Heavenly Kane comp was still playable. Although I might give it a try to see how it performs. And for bug fixes, I just want to go over this real quick. The Morellonomicon, the Morellonomicon and the Crest of Cinders were actually burning for 3%. This was why they were the top 2 most broken Radiant items in the game. So yeah, interesting change. I didn't know about this, so yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to tune in next time. leave a like, a share, a comment, a subscribe if you like the content, and come join me on stream at twitch.tv/mellowtft. Maybe we can have some fun. Have a good one. Goodbye.